Yo, how's everybody doing? It's your boy College Ball Weekly here, back again with another video. I'm going my rankings and here in week 11. Pretty crazy week. Lots of statements and just some big games this week were played. And I'll be going over my top 25 here, so I would use my top 25 or vote if I was in the college football committee or AP poll or whatever. So let's jump right into it. At number 25, I got Auburn. Auburn bouncing back this week against Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M's they're a decent team. Obviously, I didn't. Auburn, I think, has kind of got things back on track after a couple ugly losses there. So I have them at my number 25 spot. 24, Michigan State, kind of the same thing there. They've had some pretty ugly losses this year. They're kind of starting to get things back on track. They're not like a super good team, but for now I'm going to keep them at my 24 spot. Washington at number 23. They bounced back this week versus Stanford, which is an okay win. They got upset 2 weeks ago against Cal. Bounced back against Stanford this week. They're a weird team this year. I still think they're a decent team. I don't know. They got a big game probably coming with Washington State at the end of the year, so we'll see how good they are probably then. At number 22, Florida. Florida getting upset by Missouri. That was I'm not sure. I think I called that one. I'm not 100%. I don't 100% remember it, but yeah, they got smacked. I did not expect them to get smacked by Missouri like that. So Florida definitely not the team that we thought they were. Yeah, I lost a lot of respect for that Florida team this past week. Penn State, Trace McSorley, I think I was kind of watching the game on and off because I was calling the Arbonne game this week. And I kind of only saw snippets of this game, so it was like, I know Penn State got flat out destroyed. I did see the play, though, that they returned the blocked field goal for a touchdown and got called back off of a pretty questionable penalty. That may have swayed some momentum. I still think, despite that, Michigan would have won. Michigan's a real deal this year. This is kind of their first win that was very, very, this is a statement win. Penn State, decent team. And they smashed them. They destroyed them. It wasn't even close all game. Michigan State, it was kind of close. But Penn State, not even close. So Penn State, they're going to get things back on track. I know Trace McSorley didn't play that much the second half. His knee was kind of messed up. If Trace McSorley were to play, that game may have been closer. Who knows? But yeah. Penn State's got to get things back on track, though. Texas at number 20. Texas with the heartbreaker this week. Man, 2 back-to-back losses for Texas, man. And yeah, that West Virginia game, oh my god, West Virginia, I respect that so much, going for 2 for the win, because if I'm in that situation on the road, my offense is looking like that, I'm gonna say, yeah, let's do it. So yeah. At number 19, NC State. NC State handled their business against Florida State this week. And yeah, past couple weeks I said they don't really deserve to be in top 25. So many teams in my top 25 have lost this past 2 weeks. They're kind of like next man up, So yeah, it's NC State's okay team, I guess. At number 18, Mississippi State. They handled their business against, I think, Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech, decent team. But yeah, they handled their business at home. And you know how I feel about Mississippi State. I think they can beat anybody at home. Unfortunately, they don't have Bama at home this year, so they're probably going to get wiped out by them. Fresno State, they handled their business this week against UNLV. They improved to 8-1. Not much else to say for them. Boston College coming in here at number 16. Boston College was one of those teams last week, like Virginia. I was kind of waiting to, I was on the borderline to see. I thought they were actually going to lose to Virginia Tech this week. They were able to beat Virginia Tech this week, which impressed me, so I've moved them to 16. The reason they went so high up, honestly, is because so many teams lost. It's not even funny. So yeah. So many top 25 teams lost. So yeah. Syracuse, another team I thought they were going to lose against Wake Forest. They handled their business, and they are a pretty decent team. I moved them up to 15. Kentucky, they lost. The scoreboard really doesn't tell the story. Georgia had control that whole game. Kentucky looked like they didn't really belong there. Despite getting crushed, I only moved them down to 1 spot. So yeah. At number 13, and my 12 and 13 spots, I know people are gonna be like, what in the hell? But I'll tell you, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. Utah State at number 13, 8-1 Utah State. They played a midnight game last week against the 6-5 now Hawaii team, and they smacked them up 56-17. And like I said, their only loss. And I mean, they've really only played a couple close games, a close game with Wyoming. And they lost in week 1 at Michigan State only by a touchdown. I think this Utah State team should be in the top 25. I think the committee needs to expand in their range outside the Power 5 conference and kind of reevaluate what they're looking for in football teams, because I don't think they're getting it right when it comes to, I think that comes to my number 12 team, Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat Navy 42-0 this past weekend. 42-0. Notre Dame beat them, what, 44-22? I mean, geez. If your top 4 team does that to a team, like, if Cincinnati does the same thing, a playoff caliber team, and the game looks like the same with the same opponent with back-to-back weeks, I think Cincinnati deserves some respect. I have them at number 12. Now that might be a little too high. Same with Utah State. But I mean, I got mad respect. You know, Cincinnati 42-0 against Navy this past week. 42-0. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what Cincinnati can do here. I mean, they got USF this week, and then they got UCF. So that UCF Cincinnati game definitely gonna be. I can't wait for that game. I think that game's gonna be sweet. And then I mean, Utah State's probably gonna win out. They don't have to play anybody besides Boise at the end of the year. So yeah. At number 11, I got LSU. Yeah, I just ran about number 12, 13. But yeah, at 11, I got LSU. Tough game. I think LSU is definitely still a good team. I still think they can win out, work their way back into the top 10 here after this week. But coming off that shutout loss at home is not a good look. And if you're a top 10 team, you at least gotta put something on the board there. You gotta do something. You know, that's, you know. I mean, I watched that game and Alabama played perfectly, but you gotta score a touchdown or a field goal or something. Now I know they missed that field goal, like a 30-yarder, but come on, you still gotta put some points on the board. It was a tough week though for LSU. Number 10, Washington State. Washington State for me, staying the same, and I predicted how this game was gonna go. It's gonna be a close one with Cal. They were tired, and it was a close one, 19-13, really low scoring back and forth game. And I think Washington State's kind of in the driver's seat here. They've got, well, they have to play back. They still, you know, they got to go to Colorado this next week. And I think they can get through that game. They got Arizona and then home against Washington. Yeah, we can see what Washington State can do. Maybe they can make some noise. But yeah, I kind of kept them the same just because it was a close game. Same with Ohio State, man. Ohio State, as a Ohio State fan, I actually didn't get to watch this game because I was at Otterbein calling their football game. I was just kind of checking out the scores here and there. But, oh my, man, Ohio State, they're in trouble. And just watching that game, man, just kind of opened my eyes. I'm like, man, we're not an elite team this year, you know. And I think a big part of it is Greg Schiano's ego on defense. He needs to get over it. He needs to change the scheme. And if he doesn't, he should be gone. You know, and I think Urban, you know, he should be held accountable too. You know, 36-31 against Nebraska at home after a bye week. Come on, it shouldn't be that close. So I kind of kept him. I almost dropped him a spot, but Washington State having a really close game as well. You can't really drop them that much. So yeah, I'll stay at number 9 for now. But they're gonna have their hands full this week with Michigan State. So yeah, UCF. They had a close game too at home against Temple. Of course, they pulled it out. I kind of predicted like Temple might be able to make some noise against UCF, but I think UCF will pull it off. So yeah. At number 7, West Virginia. West Virginia impressed me this week, and I know probably a lot of people are gonna move West Virginia up, and it was a make it or break it. You know, that 2-point conversion decided the game, and they did it. You know, Will Grier. I said it, man, at the beginning of the year. He's probably the best NFL-ready quarterback right now, coming into this year, and he's kind of caught fire after that Iowa State loss. That was a tough game for them. And I think West Virginia has a shot at maybe beating Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. So yeah, we'll see what they can do here. You know, West Virginia always having that track record of slipping up in the second half of the year, but we'll see if they can hold the course. Georgia at number 6. Georgia, good one against Kentucky. I expected them to kind of do that to them. So yeah. Oklahoma having a tough one against Texas Tech. I said, man, that game was going to be a shootout. It was going to be... I didn't think it was going to be that close. Kyler Murray having a tough start of that game, throwing 2 picks, but it will turn around and ultimately win it. Michigan was a big jumper for me this week. If you guys have watched my polls, I was kind of holding off on Michigan the past couple weeks. I was waiting for kind of this week, and Michigan's a real deal. You know, I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm biased towards Michigan, but I can't deny that defense, man. They're good. They're tough. They play with an attitude. I still don't think that Michigan offense is that good, although they looked all right. But yeah, that defense I think is definitely the real deal for Michigan. Notre Dame at 3. I moved them down. I'm at number 2. Northwestern had them. They had them, and they just gave up one too many big plays there at the end. And I feel like it's kind of this is how it's gonna be with Notre Dame the past couple games of the year. If you look at Notre Dame's resume, they don't have any big wins except Michigan, which is it's probably the best win that anybody has right now. Is Michigan, but you know, that Stanford win, that Virginia Tech win, none of those look good. So I think Notre Dame's definitely gonna have to win out if they want to have a spot in the playoff. Clemson, man, they are getting better. 3 backs with over 100 rushing yards this week against Louisville, 77 points. I was a doubter of Clemson in the beginning of the year, if I'm being honest. I was a doubter, and after watching the past couple weeks, I was holding off. But after a close game with Notre Dame almost losing and Clemson blowing out their opponent once again, I gotta give Clemson the number 2 spot. And then of course Alabama, they blew out LSU, their only test probably all year. Maybe Auburn will give them a little bit of trouble. I doubt it, but Georgia will probably be ultimately that game for a playoff spot at the end of the year. So yeah, Alabama clear number 1. But yeah, I think right now anybody inside of the top 10 can have a chance to make the playoffs still. So going through Washington State, through Alabama, all these teams kind of still I think can control their own destiny and make this playoff. Obviously the only team on here is UCF. The committee showed kind of disrespect towards UCF. UCF didn't really help their case there, playing a really close game with Temple. They still won though, improving to 8-0. I mean, we'll just have to see. But yeah, another great week college football. Can't wait for more, guys. If you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.